Hello my friends, I hope you're having a lovely day, and in today's video we're going to discuss something I normally wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, but now I feel like I can at least offer up some input. We're looking at the two Marvel games that are coming out, one that's exclusive to Switch and one that's coming out on PS4 and Xbox One. Normally I wouldn't have talked about these games because I didn't know anything about Marvel. I hadn't seen any of the movies. I knew the characters, some characters by name. But that was it. But starting in 2019, I caught up on all the movies and I became a comic book nerd. I have a comic book collection of like 150 comics now, so I feel like I can talk about it a little bit. Something interesting happened at E3 2019 when it comes to Marvel games. One Marvel game shot up in mindshare for a lot of people, and the other one went a little bit down. And the good news is the mindshare went up for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch. So when Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was announced, fans were certainly excited for it, and we're looking forward to seeing who was in the game and what kind of new moves there were and everything. But the game didn't make people go crazy with excitement. The excitement was there. Then we come to Marvel Avengers on PS4 and Xbox One, which is something that we knew was in development through Square-Enix and their partners for quite some time, but we hadn't seen anything about it. We hadn't seen any footage, we didn't know any details, and that all changed at E3. And what we got left people, let's just say, dissatisfied. They were very upset with pretty much everything they saw in the trailer because, well, first off, there wasn't any gameplay shown really, but we got a look at the characters. And the look of the characters has just made people very, very upset because, well, the characters are pretty generic. We're talking about the faces of the characters here, and they're I don't know, they're bland, I guess is what you would say. These characters have no character to them. Now, I just want to say right off the bat, I am going to play this game without a doubt. Now that I'm really into comic books, I'm very excited for the game, and I'm not as nitpicky as most are. And I'm not saying people don't have a right to pick at this stuff, because I do see what they're saying. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to play the game. That's what I can tell you. But yeah, the backlash to the character designs I can completely get, because they just look strange. They look off. They look weird. Something doesn't feel right about them. And there was also complaints about the costumes or outfits of the character as well. The characters, with some fans saying that the characters' outfits were ugly, and where did they come up with these designs and stuff like that. But we hear there's going to be multiple designs for costumes in the game. So, you know, maybe we just saw ones that people didn't like and the other ones will be much better. I can't speak to that. But the faces, yeah, people don't really enjoy them. And I think I have an idea as to why that is. Over the last 10 plus years, the Marvel franchise has gotten so much bigger because of the movies. The Marvel characters and their universe have expanded exponentially because the movies got out there and became really popular and brought in a whole new audience. Millions and millions of people who were not following the comics or didn't know anything of the brands, and now they feel very attached to them and really like the characters and are excited for them and eager to check out what else they're in, be it comic books or games like these coming up. So when you have something like Marvel Avengers, which is going for a quote-unquote realistic approach to characters, your first thing you think of when you see the trailer is, oh, that's not Scarlett Johansson, or oh, that's not Robert Downey Jr. You know, you get like a knockoff impression, and obviously a lot of money would have had to have been spent to get those actors to appear in the games and provide their voices, and that might not be, that just wouldn't make sense, obviously. But also on top of that, the developers might not want that for a stylistic approach, because then you don't have anything to really call your own. It's just forever going to be tied to those characters, or those actors. But with those movies being so huge, when you present something that takes a more realistic approach, that's exactly what people are going to think. They're going to look at it and be like, oh man, that just doesn't look right. Where are those actors that I know and love? That's just the way it's going to be. So when it comes to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the approach that's a more, I don't know what you want to call it, cartoony or comic book related approach to the visuals really works, because when people saw those initial trailers, they never thought, oh man, that's not Robert Downey Jr. No one thinks that stuff, because it looks more like what you would see in the comic books. It just makes sense. It flows. You don't have that whole disconnect. And that disconnect is causing a lot of trouble for the developers on Marvel Avengers right now, because fans just don't like what they see. And so far, there was a little glimmer of hope where we heard that perhaps they would redesign the facial features, because the developer said, we heard your backlash and we're going to take this back to the team and discuss it. But then a statement came out a couple days later where they were like, no, we're not changing the characters. So fans are back to being angry. And I can't tell you how much sentiment I saw on Twitter just while working from people saying, wow, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 looks so much better to me now. The excitement and hope for Marvel Avengers was there because we hadn't seen anything yet, but now that it's out there, fans are like, oh, I don't know. Feels a little bit generic. And you look at Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 and it's way over the top, you know, like crazy attacks and all kinds of colors and, you know, designs that don't make people upset. So it's crazy how after years of speculating as to what Square-Enix was doing, all it took was for the first reveal for fans to be like, nah, that's not going to be for me. I'm going to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I will be playing both games without a doubt. I'm excited for Marvel Avengers because of the storyline components, and I'm interested in seeing the story in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but I'm more interested to get together with friends and play because that's what that series is about. So I'm just excited as like a new Marvel fan in general to play both. But yeah, I do have to admit, the designs in Marvel Avengers are a little off-putting to me. It's not going to take me out of the game, but it just, I don't know. It's going to be the thing that people will comment on no matter what when they see the game. They're going to be like, that's not who I thought it should be, and that looks weird, and it doesn't fit. I get it, and it's unfortunate because there are a lot of great voice actors tied to the characters in Marvel Avengers, voice actors that are known for their work usually in animated features or video games. A lot of great talent there, and I'm sure they'll do a fine job, but that mind share, that disconnect between the film franchise and this now realistic game approach is just going to be front and center the whole time, and it's going to be a big hurdle for the developers to get over, and I don't know that they can do it. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think of both Marvel games. Obviously, we're a Nintendo-focused channel, and I'd love to hear what you think on Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but I would imagine plenty of you are going to be checking out the other game as well, or are went from being interested to not being interested. If you also have some insight as to why you think fans had such a negative backlash for something that, for an aspect that I didn't cover, hit the comments up and let me know about that as well. But I thought it'd be fun to do a little talk about that because, like I said, I'm now officially a comic book nerd, and I had an opinion, and I felt like I could talk about things a little bit without sounding like an idiot, or at least not as much of an idiot as usual. So that's today's video. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's very much appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Who the hell knows what it'll be, but until then, have a lovely day and a lovely evening, and I'll see you in a few short hours.